Welcome back. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and for our Mind Matters series, Carson, you're sharing a new campaign, and it's aimed at helping kids who might be struggling.
Yeah, for sure. As you know, I have struggled with generalized anxiety disorder for a while now. In fact, since I was a kid, it's certainly not uncommon. The National Institute of Mental Health saying that anxiety affects 30% of kids and teens, yet 80% never get any kind of help. So when the Child Mind Institute asked if I'd be a part of their You Got This campaign, where teens interview people in the public eye, I certainly jumped at that opportunity. That's how I met a young man named Wyatt, who's a rock star. He's a sophomore in high school right here in New York. Take a look.
Cheers.
To Wyatt.
Cheers.
First of all, it's great to meet you.
Great to meet you, Carson.
I feel like I'm in a time portal looking at me at your age. Hit me with some questions.
So, how old were you when you first experienced anxiety?
Only later in my life was I able to look back when I was a teenager and go, oh my gosh, that was all like anxiety. Like, oh, that time. Oh yeah, when I was feeling really scared and like, felt like I was like on edge. Like, oh, that's what that was. When we were growing up, my generation, we didn't talk about mental health. Only now are we, through these conversations, starting to treat our mental health like we do our physical health. Like, no big deal. Everybody's got mental health struggles.
I think it's really important that we're doing that.
16-year-old Wyatt is like many teenagers his age. He loves playing basketball and soccer, and like many teens, he struggles with anxiety, but is speaking up in hopes of helping kids who suffer in silence. Wyatt is one of a handful of teenagers interviewing famous people about their mental health struggles to help destigmatize mental illness.
Like, I didn't know anxiety was like a categorical thing.
I'm not a psycho. This is me. Here I am.
When I was younger, that was it. If you had something going on up here, you were just crazy. So we've come a long, long way, but we still have a lot of work to do.
You know, we have all this, this stigma around it. It's getting less and less and less.
Wyatt is a part of the Child Mind Institute's You Got This campaign.
When did you first realize that you were a little anxious?
When I was about 12, right, when I got to my new school, or not just like worrying about a test the next day, it's a different kind of feeling. It's this feeling, in your head that you can't kind of, be yourself because you're just nonstop having this in the back of your head, just bugging you and bugging you.
Wyatt says his anxiety began about something benign he posted on YouTube, but later grew into repeated paranoid feelings about technology. He was diagnosed with anxiety and obsessive compulsive disorder. My phone, just right here, I didn't have it for a whole year because I was worried that I was being listened in on and spied on. It really, really took a toll on me. I mean, I've come really far, and now here I am. There's like 4 cameras. My phone's right here.
And you don't have that same worry?
No, I'm able to have my phone around with me.
And therapy helped you get through that?
Yes.
And I always had, we call it catastrophic thinking. Negative thoughts on negative thoughts.
Oh, I do that too.
I've struggled with general anxiety disorder and panic attacks most of my life. Therapy has made all the difference.
And that's why talking about this and like ultimately for me, going to therapy, working on certain tools that help me, it's my superpower now. So it's not going to hold me back.
You're saving other people with the superpower.
I don't want to have a panic attack, and then I'm going. And I know I'll be okay.
I'm doing it.
I know I'm going to be okay.
I think I can kind of relate to that in I have, soccer games. Sometimes I feel, not a panic attack, but I feel, in my chest like I'm going to throw up, and it's kind of a little hard to breathe.
And then is it better, like once you get into the game?
Yeah, once you're waiting for the whistle to be blown, you're out there, you're ready to play, and I'm sure Kevin probably has that too.
Wyatt also interviewed Miami Heat's Kevin Love for the campaign.
Hopefully we can help a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely. It's an honor.
Kevin has been very public about his own panic attacks. He's one of the reasons I opened up about mine on Today.
General anxiety disorder. I'm thinking here's Kevin Love, badass, successful, operates at a high level.
Amazing.
And it made me feel so good about, wow, I'm not alone. And I still perform. I can perform at a high level. But
you drop 30 points.
Right, exactly.
Every day.
I'm dropping a 50 biscuit on him.
50.
You know what I'm saying, Wyatt? Oh my God, what a hustler. And so when I talk about mental health, if I talk to young people, I was like, man, I was you, bro. I know what it's like. You're not alone, man. That's the message. We're all in this together.
Wow, that's really
I love talking about it.
It means a lot. It's great to hear from someone such a high power. Just write to me how I'm going to be okay. I just want to be open that I do have anxiety and OCD, and so.
That's so cool to hear, because people are going to hear that and go, oh, then it's okay if I have it. You got this. That's the message at the end. And that's what I wanted to know when I struggled the most was was I going to be okay?
Am I going to be good? Am I normal?
Am I normal? And the answer is yes.
Yes, you are. You're okay. You're normal.
You're okay.
And you got this.
Wow. Carson.
I mean, it was so great to meet Wyatt. You meet young men like that or young people like that. It makes you feel so good about the future, especially when it comes to the conversation of mental health. You can already see how confident he is. He's such a great ambassador for mental health awareness.
I liked how when you said, I know that some panic is coming, but I know I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
It's like you now you recognize
It's a leap
it.
of faith.
And just to look at him looking at you, it was like you felt it, like this kid's going to be good.
I'm just so proud of him.
Wow.
I mean, it's great.
And thank you for letting us sit in on that conversation.
I know.
It really
Felt like we were
you guys
peeking
just
in, yeah.
dived in such a
We
great
had a long.
lesson.
I get it from parents all the time because the Today Show. They always say like, "What's the biggest question for teens?" Is like, what's a red flag and what's normal teen
Yeah.
behavior?
I know.
We talk about that. There's a full like 8-minute video at today.com if you want to watch more of that conversation.
We're gonna
and by
send
the way,
this
that place
video
was
out.
called the Flower Shop where
Yeah.
we were.
Yeah.
Super cool. Thanks for letting us hang out there. Shout out to you, Wyatt. You're the man. Keep up the great work.
Yeah.
And his
Man.
parents were there and they were lovely too.
Cool.
I
want to
So if you're a
literally
teen and
share
you're struggling,
this conversation.
hang in there.
Me too.
Hang in there. You got
And
this.
I think a lot of people do ask themselves, like, okay,
Yeah.
am I just nervous?
Everybody looks so
Everyone gets
normal.
nervous before a game.
Yes.
When do you know it's
When do you know
something
something
that you
more?
need a little help with?
Yeah, life's not so perfect on Instagram. All these teenagers look at Instagram. Oh, but everybody's
Yeah.
life is so perfect. You're
Yeah.
doing just fine
Good.
as you are.
You
Cool.
got this.